This is why you need to beware of your neighbours. At first glance, everything seems ordinary. The houses are well kept, the lawns are mowed, and the streets are quiet. But at night it changes. The atmosphere shifts, and a sense of unease settles in. A flickering streetlight casts long, eerie shadows that dance on the pavement. The once welcoming neighbourhood now feels like a scene from a horror movie. The silence is deafening, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant bark of a dog. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched, that something is lurking just out of sight. You need to beware of your neighbours. At first glance, everything seems ordinary, but at night, it changes. A flickering streetlight, shadows that move without a source. The darkness seems to come alive, and every creak and groan of the old houses sends shivers down your spine. You start to notice things you hadn't before. The way the shadows seem to stretch and twist, forming shapes that shouldn't be there. The way the wind howls through the trees, sounding almost like whispers. It's as if the neighbourhood itself is trying to tell you something, to warn you of the dangers that lurk within. Shadows that move without a source. They slither along the walls, creeping closer and closer. You try to convince yourself it's just your imagination, but deep down you know something is very wrong. The shadows seem to have a life of their own, moving in ways that defy logic. They twist and contort, forming grotesque shapes that make your skin crawl. You can't help but feel like you're being watched, like something is lurking just out of sight, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Whispers, but no one's there. The sound is faint, almost like a distant echo, but it's enough to send chills down your spine. You strain to hear, trying to make out the words, but they remain just out of reach. The whispers seem to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, filling the air with an eerie sense of dread. You can't shake the feeling that you're not alone, that something is watching you from the shadows. The whispers grow louder, more insistent, and you start to feel a sense of panic rising within you. Mary from next door? She's been missing for days. And Mr. Thompson, always in his yard, digging. The neighbours talk, but only in hushed tones. They exchange worried glances, their voices barely above a whisper. You can't help but wonder what they're hiding, what secrets they're keeping. The sense of unease grows stronger with each passing day, and you start to feel like you're living in a nightmare. The once friendly neighbourhood now feels like a prison, and you can't shake the feeling that something terrible is about to happen. One night, you hear it, a knock. It's soft at first, almost hesitant, but it quickly grows louder, more insistent. You feel a sense of dread wash over you as you approach the door. Your heart pounds in your chest, and your hands tremble as you reach for the doorknob. You open the door, but there's no one there. Just an empty doorstep and a note. The note is simple, but its message is clear. Leave before it's too late. You feel a chill run down your spine as you read the words, and you can't help but wonder who left the note and what they know. You open the door, no one there, but a note. Leave before it's too late. The words echo in your mind, filling you with a sense of urgency. You start to question everything you thought you knew about your neighbourhood. Who could have left the note, and why? You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched, that someone is keeping tabs on your every move. The sense of unease grows stronger with each passing day, and you start to feel like you're living in a nightmare. Curiosity pulls you in. You explore an abandoned house at the end of the street. The house is old and decrepit, its windows boarded up and its paint peeling. You can't help but feel drawn to it, as if it holds the answers to all your questions. You approach the house, your heart pounding in your chest. The air is thick with dust and the smell of decay fills your nostrils. You reach for the doorknob, your hand trembling with anticipation. The door creaks open and you step inside. The door creaks open. Inside, the wallpaper peels, dust thick in the air. And then, footsteps coming closer. You turn around, your heart racing. The footsteps grow louder, echoing through the empty house. You feel a sense of panic rising within you as you realize you're not alone. You try to run, but your legs feel like lead. The footsteps are right behind you now, and you can feel a cold breath on the back of your neck. You turn around, but it's too late. This isn't just any neighbourhood, it's a trap. Do you dare to find out more? Subscribe for the full story. The sense of dread lingers long after the video ends, leaving you with more questions than answers. What happened to Mary? What is Mr. Thompson hiding? And who left the note? The only way to find out is to subscribe and stay tuned for the next chapter in this chilling tale. Until then, beware of your neighbours and remember, things are not always as they seem. Mary was always the friendly neighbour, the one who baked cookies for everyone. But she had a secret. She was investigating the strange occurrences in the neighbourhood. Mr. Thompson, the reclusive gardener, was often seen digging at odd hours. Some say he was burying something or someone. The neighbours, once chatty and open, now only whisper in hushed tones, their eyes darting around nervously. What are they hiding? What do they know? You find Mary's old diary in the abandoned house. The pages are filled with her observations and fears. She wrote about the shadows, the whispers, and the strange behaviour of the neighbours. Her last entry is chilling. I think they know I'm onto them. If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident. The diary provides more questions than answers, but it confirms one thing. Mary was onto something big. The basement of the abandoned house holds more secrets. You descend the creaky stairs, the air growing colder with each step. A single light flickers, casting eerie shadows on the walls. In the corner you find a mysterious object covered in dust. It's an old rusted box. You open it to find photographs, letters, and a map of the neighbourhood with certain houses marked. What do these marks mean? What was Mary trying to uncover? The photographs show people who used to live in the neighbourhood, but who have mysteriously disappeared. The letters contain cryptic messages, warnings, and pleas for help. The map reveals a pattern, a connection between the marked houses. Each house has a history of strange occurrences and missing persons. The pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together, but the picture they form is terrifying. As you piece together the clues, you realize the neighborhood is more than just creepy. It's dangerous. An eerie figure lurks in the shadows, watching your every move. The neighbors' frightened eyes tell a story of fear and secrets. The once peaceful neighborhood is now a web of mystery and terror. You can't trust anyone and you can't escape. The only way to survive is to uncover the truth before it's too late. But it's too late. This isn't just any neighborhood, it's a trap. Do you dare to find out more? Subscribe for the full story. The sense of dread lingers long after the video ends, leaving you with more questions than answers. What happened to Mary? What is Mr. Thompson hiding? And who left the note? The only way to find out is to subscribe and stay tuned for the next chapter in this chilling tale. Until then, beware of your neighbours and remember, things are not always as they seem.